Two trials here. 15th of July, as you say, he ran in an open maiden on the turf. He was second but slipped back to 7th at the wire, so maybe this distance, 1,000 metres, will be more to his liking.
He was pretty keen. He had the mouth open. I think the fact that years back to the 1,000, and we've seen Theo Keyser so often have his horses primed for the short course poly. He's a likely improver. DiCaprio, there's not too much of him here. 446 kilos. I like the fact that he's found a race where he can stay on a relatively light weight. He just got tightened up towards the turn, and I thought he stuck on pretty well in the race won by Maximus.
Yep, DiCaprio, could it be a case of catch me if you can? Basically, he's had 2 runs on the poly. Last run was very nice on the 29th of July. He was restricted maiden, broke 5th. He steadily progressed, finished 1 length away in second, but back on the 7th of July, he won a 1,000-metre trial, so now he drops 100 metres. Should help the horse, as this is now a 1,000-metre on the poly. So I think DiCaprio, he has a really good chance here, and he's currently second favourite with 13 minutes to go, the dividend of 19 on the tote.
Okay, I won't come back with any one-liners about DiCaprio sinking or anything like that, but Hutter 312 and 60 here for him.
Well, my tips are always about as much chance as the Titanic getting home, but there you go. Number 7, Hatter. Only seen Karanji once in the turf. That was the Singapore Golden Horseshoe Series over 1,200 metres. It was beaten about 9.5 lengths. Has trialled twice on the poly, recording a 2nd and 3rd on the 31st of May and the 16th of June. He's had his undercarriage realigned, so he's like aerodynamically could be running a little bit faster today.
That's one way to put it. So he was gelded in July. Perfect DJ, 84 and 20. Now, he's been one that's had all sorts of issues at the trials. His manners are a massive problem. You wouldn't know it in the parade ring. He's walking around like a lamb at the moment. So we'll just keep a close eye on him, because I think mentally he's still a little challenged.
Yeah, Pacifiers and Hood on for the first time. Has been in 3 trials over 1,000 metres. First time in a race in anger. I think you just have to look at the betting market and decide which way this horse is going to run today.
Well, Zed Mock got the first winner with Trigger Man. Fingers crossed for him in the second here with Perfect DJ. Xiong Fong is 28 and also 8. Beasley and also Dan Ma teaming up with a newcomer here. So just having a look at an expensive purchase here, Graham. $340,000 purchase. You don't see them that expensive here in Singapore very often.
Well, he's had 2 trials on the 26th of July and the 8th of August, so basically Blinker's first time. The trainer does have a good record this year on the 1,000-metre poly. He's winning at 20%, so I think you just have to have a look at the market at the moment. He's currently 28. See if that actually comes in a little bit more. As I say, Blinker's first time, it's normally a good indicator for a horse in a race.
Okay, so he's at 28 and also 8. I think we watch him very closely, Xiong Fong, and Lim's Invincible. We saw the form there through the track work, at least, on the turf last Saturday by I'm Invincible, who's been a good sire of fast horses here in Singapore. Plenty of gear on for the first occasion. Pacifiers, crossover noseband and special plate on. How did you assess it? I mean, the track work looked okay for this filly.
Yep, had 1 trial on the 8th of August, was 2nd of 7, was beaten by 3.5 lengths. The trainer Stephen Burridge, again, pretty good on the poly track over the 1,000 metres. He's winning at 22.2% this year. So Lim's Invisible with Glenn Boss, a quality jockey on board, has a chance and is currently around $34, 11 place on the tote.
Up on the pace in a recent trial behind Super Dan. We saw that horse go around last week and run 3rd. Wasn't bad. There was just a little bit of a niggle there. A lot of the Limbs horses can go around and be relatively untested in trials, but this one I think was tested to an extent. Now, very interesting run of this one. The same stable, the Project M stable, have numbers 1 and also 2, and they're both trained by CT Qua. Now, Lucky Sugar looks the pick of the 2, and he's the favourite, but I just think this one, Lucky Strider, had a look at his replay last time. I didn't think he was too bad, and I was giving him a sneaky little hope with Juglal to ride.
Yep, ran on the 29th of July in the same grade, ran at the back of the field, finished 7th. Went off a triple-digit dividend, but basically has a good chance here. He had a trial on the 18th of August, finished 7th of 9th. So let's take a look at the market during the next 9 minutes and see if he shortens in.
He's coming through the same race as DiCaprio, actually. And DiCaprio was beaten a length and Lucky Stride was beaten 4 1/4. So, you know, he wasn't too far off, and there are reasons why he can improve. Now, the late mailman has come up with this one, Lucky Sugar 17 and also 7. I just thought, you know, given there were two horses raced by the same stable, this one for mine looked the pick of the 1,000-metre sort of horses, because it's got pace. She's a filly. She's got pace, 17 and 7. I think she's got an excellent chance.
Yep, only raced on Polly. Last time was a good second, beaten a length after being up with the pace. First two runs had been leading up at the sharp end and fell away, beaten 3.5 lengths and 5 lengths over the 1,000. Has a chance back in restricted maiden and is currently the favourite at 17.
It's always interesting. You look at, you're always looking for clues, but it strikes me as that the fact that Lucky Stride's in the race keeps Lucky Sugar away from the top weight. So maybe that's what Lucky Stride's doing there. I don't really know, but I thought the pair of them, they made interesting appeal. Dragon Master, 44 and also 12, a horse who hasn't done too much wrong. He's had 5 runs, still a maiden, but knocking on the door.
Yeah, last 2 races have been in open maiden, has found the opposition a little bit tough. Last 2 runs in restricted maiden, back on the 27th of May and the 10th of June, finished 2nd and 3rd, so that's where you can hang your hopes with this horse. Last run on the 10th of June was over 1,100 metres, was leading, but that extra 100 metres told now cuts back to the 1,000. First time on the 27th of May, it was a closing 2nd, so got the trip and has the grade today, and I think could be a major player. Currently 44 on the win and 12 on the place.
So the field moving out, nice little crowd down there. You quite often get some enthusiastic owners when you've got some newcomers to the races. Perfect DJ Seong Fong and also Lim's Invincible, 3 newcomers as they come under the race. I think we just about got them. How did you describe Hutter's gelding operation?
Had the undercarriage redesigned.
Yeah, so Gareth comes up with something along the lines of the unkindest of cuts.
Yeah. In fact, these maidens, I'll just tell you a quick story. I still wake up in a cold sweat at night. When I was living in India, Indian Derby Day, you've got to go on, it's one of the things to do on the bucket list. It's the first weekend in February. It's a great weekend. They had the Derby on the Sunday. And I went with my wife, and the first 3 races, of course, you dropped a load of money. The 4th race was a complete unraced debutante race, and my wife liked this horse called Strength to Strength. Never, ever forget the name now. Of course, we go to the beer tent, and we're watching the race, and Strength to Strength wins at 271 on the tote, and we didn't back it. And my wife has never forgiven me.
What did that have to do with the unkindest of cuts? What?
Just going on the maiden races. It's a restricted maiden, isn't it? So.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be some sort of link back to when you woke up in a nervous sweat. I was wondering what had happened to you.
My wife did want to geld me after missing that bet. Yeah, I think that's where the gelding link comes in. My wife wanted to geld me by not putting the bet on, I think.
I had some friends out here recently, and they had a bit of success with on the punt, and they showed me the ticket, and they were very happy with themselves, and they'd backed a $248 winner, and they'd backed it for the place. I tried to tell them that they did the wrong thing, but they were still happy with their minimal payout for the place, but what could have been for them. Anyway, they move out for this one, so the horses are going way down towards the about the 120 metres there, and then they'll turn right onto the poly track. As we've mentioned a couple of times, it's basically a poly track meeting bar for one race, and that'll be coming up is race number 9. The turf track will be pretty firm by then. Late in the day when we finally get to the turf, but long course A today for that one turf race. But apart from that, on the poly track, as they move out for this one, we better fire in some selections and see what we can come up with here. I'm going to go with number 6 DiCaprio to beat 2 Lucky Sugar, 10 Lim's Invincible, and 1 Lucky Stride will be getting home well. So 6, 2, 10, and also 1 in race number 2.
And I've gone 6 DiCaprio, number 2 Lucky Sugar, 3rd place the debutant number 10 Lim's Invincible, and filling out my selections in 4th place is number 8 Perfect DJ. As we take a look at the market with 5 minutes to go, we've got the favourite as number 2 Lucky Sugar, currently at 17. Then it's 21 is the 6 DiCaprio, 25 is number 9 Ji Fong, followed by the $36 on number 10 Lim's Invincible, who's now gone to 35, and number 3 Dragon Master is currently 39.
Right, well, moving out, obviously it's been a sad week with the passing of the former president and former patron of the Singapore Turf Club, Mr. S.R. Nathan, and well, he was an integral figure here for many years. I know when I first came over here and was involved with quite a few of the presentations for the international races, obviously, and also what would have been the Patrons Bowl, and I think the Gold Cup as well. S.R. Nathan was out here frequently for presentations like that, but I mean his involvement in this club stems back many years, doesn't it, Graham? And you know, one of the biggest days in the history of the Singapore Turf Club involved S.R. Nathan.
Yes, he actually opened the racetrack officially. I think that was back down on the 4th of March 2000, and I think he was a fantastic supporter not only of the Turf Club but the sport in general as well.
Indeed he was. So sad news during the week, but he's been recognised as a great patron here at the Singapore Turf Club. Now, I can tell you that number 10, Limbs Invincible, is not handling the occasion all that well down in front of us. It's down near the winning post at the moment, just a little reluctant to head in the right direction, but fortunately experienced hoop in Glenn Boss to make sure this all goes A-OK for the filly, but she's just a little bit on the nervous side at the moment. Of the others, they seem to be behaving themselves fairly well. Some new colours here, Seong Fong. I've not seen them before. Red with the blue sleeves and a blue cap. But Limbs Invincible. She's going all right. She'll get round there. We saw in her track work she was a little bit nervy. She was working with another horse. And I think both horses at various stages of that track work seemed to jump over a shadow or something. Anyway, I'll hand it over to you, Graham, and you can talk us through this. We're about 2 minutes away from a start.
Yes, certainly. If you are going through the form, you'll notice that Lucky Sugar now has the hood off and pacifiers and hood on for the first time. Number 8, Perfect DJ, as well has pacifiers and hood on for the first time. Number 9, Xiao Fong, blinkers first time, and I think a lot of people have noticed that because it's currently 25 on the tote for the win and 9 on the place. And number 10, Limbs Invincible, has pacifiers on for the first time and is currently 36 on the tote and 11 on the place. With 2 minutes to go, we've still got a very strong favourite. That is the 2-horse Lucky Sugar. Currently it's open at 16 and has been rock solid and is around at the 17 mark. There has been some money for the 3-horse, and that is Dragon Master. Started off about 44, has been clipped into 38. And at number 6, well, started off at second favourite, DiCaprio, and he's going for a walk in the park around 22. And looking down the market as well, number 9 has been supported, as I said previously. That is Xiong Fong, opened up about 25 and is clipped into 22.
To my eye, it seems like significant money for the 9 here. First up for Dan Maher, who's only had his licence here for, well, it's probably a little bit longer now. I mean, he had the licence, but he didn't sort of rush the horses to the races. But his stable's gaining momentum, and here's an interesting runner. We mentioned earlier on, was purchased for $340,000 in Australia, and arrived here in Singapore back in April. And there's good money for it, 21. That's it, the red colours with the blue sleeves. So I think it's going to run okay, the son of Sepoy. Perfect DJ, we were mentioning that he had a few issues with his manners, but he seems to be handling himself pretty well down there at the stalls at the moment. Limbs Invincible has made it down to the gates. Blindfold on Lucky Stride, and the purple colours with the white cap on the Lucky Sugar here. So they'll be coming in shortly. Continued support here, Graham, for the 9. It's a significant push.
Yep, it's suddenly into 20, but hanging solid is the 2-horse Lucky Sugar. So it seems to be between Lucky Sugar and Xiao Fong, and obviously blinkers first time. That's a major marker for this debutante, and money just keeps on coming in for this 9-horse. Started off at 25, is now into 19, just clipped out to 20. 2 is rock solid. I think 2 is going to be Lucky Sugar, the favourite at the off, but watch out there. You can see the 9-horse in shot. That is your market mover. Currently now $19 for the win, 8 on the place.
So it won't be long before they go forward for the second on the card. $17 about Lucky Sugar. It does stand out that I think if the stablemate hadn't been in the race, that Lucky Sugar would have had more weight and only a smallish type of horse. So I think it will appreciate the 55.5 as we see Seong Fong moving in. Oop. That's not what we want to see from the well-back runner, and there'll be some nervous people looking on here. Seong Fong as it gets rid of Denny Beasley. Denny laying down the law there and saying, well, hang on, we've got to do better than that. And he jumps back into the saddle. And they'll work with this one again. Seong Fong, son of Sepoy, and an expensive purchase, but at the moment, those who have sided with this one, and there are plenty, $10 to $19, won't be too impressed with this. So we wait on Seong Fong, but it's only got one trick at the moment, and that's to keep rearing up. Well, it's at $18, so continued support for it. Lucky Sugar wears the club colours, the purple with a white cap. All the other runners are just waiting for this one. Just having a look down, I don't think John Pepe's down there today, which probably is not ideal. He's the go-to man with horses like this, but looks as though John might be off for the day. Damien Kinnamont's come down and off his rostrum and is trying to work his magic. They've just about got it, I think. So as Seong Fong goes in, and fortunately it seemed to hold its nerve okay. Denny Beasley will jump back aboard, gate number 1. Denny had gate number 1 in the first as well, so he's had a bit of fortune with his barrier draws, at least in the first 2 races here today. He's got Lim's Battle from a wider stall. He's got gate number 1 with Return to Justice in the last. So 3 gate 1s for him today. Now, Perfect DJ, another one who's had his moments at the starting stalls in the early part of his career. Seen him at the trials, and he's not the best behaved, still learning. Anyway, he goes in. Perfect DJ, so he's ready. Next one to go forward here is Lucky Stride. Copacabana, the colt, heading up towards the stalls. Dragon Master with a yellow cap about to link up. Oh, trouble there with the 8. Perfect DJ. So he's drawn alongside Seong Fong. The rider of Perfect DJ, Benny Woodworth, out of the irons at the moment, and the horse has just about tipped himself over there. And Benny's gone from gate 2. I think he's jumped across Seong Fong and got out of the gates. Wow, this horse, Perfect DJ, we always knew he was going to be a bit of a liability at the start, given what we'd seen at the trials. And at the moment, Benny Woodworth's quite happy to be away from him. I just wonder whether the bridle might have come loose on him, because I did see some headgear being passed around. Whether he's got rid of the bridle, I don't know. That picture's not telling us anything.
And just to keep a check on the market, we've now got some late money for the 2 horse. So number 2, Lucky Sugar, will go off the favourite, is now 16. 9 is Drifting, obviously with the antics at the barriers, is currently 21. So your favourite at the off will be number 2, Lucky Sugar, as we look towards the barriers and just see if everything is okay.
Okay, well, $16 here for Lucky Sugar. Win pool at 289,000. So, as I say, I'm just guessing, but I wouldn't be surprised if this horse either got rid of its bridle. I just... Okay, so there we go. There's the horse seat. This is what I was saying. I had a feeling the bridle was coming off, and that picture tells us exactly what we need to see, that the horse had indeed got rid of the bridle, and they've done well there. I think they had to put a head check back on the horse and then put the bridle back on. Anyway, so they'll work. Benny Woodworth re-emerges. Probably knew he was in for a tough moment here, race number 2. And now they continue to load. So Lucky Sugar at 16. I think, as Graham said, will probably run favourite now that a little bit of the enthusiasm for Xiong Fong has gone away. Anyway, they continue to work with this one. Perfect DJ.